They've been watching us. For decades, perhaps centuries, unidentified objects have been spotted in our skies, unexplained phenomena have puzzled our greatest minds, and yet, despite all the evidence that we might not be alone in the universe, one question remains unanswered. If advanced alien civilizations exist, why haven't they invaded Earth? Today, we're going to explore a theory that might just answer this question, a theory so compelling, so logical, that it explains not only why aliens haven't invaded, but why they never will. Let's start with a fundamental question. If we assume that intelligent alien life exists somewhere in our vast universe, and if even a fraction of these civilizations have achieved interstellar travel, Earth should have been discovered by now. Our planet is approximately 4.5 billion years old. The universe is nearly 14 billion years old. That's a lot of time for someone, somewhere, to find us. This paradox, known as the Fermi paradox, has puzzled scientists for generations. Where is everybody? If the galaxy is teeming with life, where are all the aliens? But what if the answer isn't about where they are, but about why they're staying away? Imagine you're part of an advanced alien civilization. Your species has mastered faster-than-light travel, your technology is millions of years ahead of anything humans have ever dreamed of, and your mission is to explore the galaxy, cataloging planets and civilizations. Then, you discover Earth. At first glance, Earth seems perfect. It's a blue jewel in the darkness of space, teeming with life, rich with resources, and home to a species that's just beginning to understand the universe around them. But as you study this planet more closely, you start to notice something disturbing. Something that makes you want to keep your distance. The humans are dangerous. Not to you, necessarily, but to themselves and to everything around them. Let's consider what an advanced alien species would see when they look at humanity. They would see a species that, despite its incredible intelligence and creativity, is also capable of shocking violence and self-destruction. In just the last century, humans have fought 2 world wars that killed over 100 million people. We've developed weapons capable of destroying our entire planet multiple times over. We've driven countless species to extinction, poisoned our own atmosphere, and depleted resources at an unsustainable rate. And perhaps most telling of all, we can't seem to stop fighting among ourselves. Despite sharing one small planet in the vastness of space, we remain divided by borders, religions, ideologies, and resources. From an alien perspective, Earth might look less like a prize to be conquered and more like a quarantine zone to be avoided. But the danger humans pose isn't the only reason aliens might stay away. There's another factor that's often overlooked. What if Earth simply isn't worth invading? Science fiction has conditioned us to believe that aliens would want Earth for its resources. Water, minerals, biological diversity. But here's the thing, any civilization capable of traveling between stars would have access to resources far more abundant and far easier to obtain than anything Earth has to offer. Water. It's one of the most common compounds in the universe. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, has more water than all of Earth's oceans combined, and there's nobody there to fight you for it. Minerals and metals. Asteroids are loaded with them. One asteroid could contain more platinum than has ever been mined on Earth, and you wouldn't have to deal with an angry population of 7 billion humans to get it. Even if aliens wanted biological resources or genetic material, Earth is just one planet among potentially billions with life. We might not be nearly as special as we think we are. Now, let's talk about another possibility, one that's both humbling and strangely comforting. What if aliens have discovered Earth and simply don't see us as worth their time? Think about how humans interact with other species on our own planet. We don't invade ant colonies, we don't wage war against dolphins, and we don't try to conquer chimpanzees. It's not because we can't, it's because there's no point. These species operate on a completely different level than we do. An alien civilization that's even 1,000 years ahead of us technologically would view humans the same way we view ants. Interesting to observe, perhaps, but hardly a threat or a valuable conquest. This theory, sometimes called the zoo hypothesis, suggests that advanced aliens are aware of us but have chosen to observe from a distance, the same way we might observe animals in a nature preserve. We're being studied, catalogued, and left alone to develop naturally. There's also a darker possibility we need to consider. What if aliens aren't invading Earth because they're waiting for us to destroy ourselves? Think about it from a strategic perspective. If you're an advanced civilization observing a young, violent species like humanity, why risk the casualties and resources required for an invasion when you can simply wait? Humans are already doing an excellent job of making Earth uninhabitable through climate change, nuclear weapons, and environmental destruction. An alien species with patience, and a civilization that's been around for millions of years would have plenty of patience, might simply be waiting for us to wipe ourselves out. Then, they could move in and claim a planet that's already been cleared of its most dangerous inhabitants. It's a grim thought, but it's one that makes a certain cold, logical sense. But let's consider a more optimistic scenario. What if the reason aliens haven't invaded Earth is because advanced civilizations simply don't invade? There's a theory in sociology and anthropology that suggests a civilization must reach a certain level of social and ethical development before it can achieve advanced technology. In other words, a species would need to overcome its violent, destructive tendencies before it could master interstellar travel. Think about it. To build a civilization capable of traveling between stars, you need massive cooperation, resource sharing, and long-term planning spanning generations. A species that's constantly at war with itself, that can't cooperate for the common good, would never reach that level. So perhaps the reason we haven't been invaded is simple: any alien species advanced enough to reach Earth would also be peaceful enough not to invade. They've already learned the lessons we're still struggling with. There's also the possibility that aliens have visited Earth, but not in the way we imagine. What if they've been here, studied us, and decided that contact would do more harm than good? The history of contact between civilizations on Earth doesn't inspire confidence. When technologically advanced societies encountered less advanced ones, the results were almost always catastrophic for the less advanced civilization. Disease, cultural destruction, exploitation. These are the legacies of contact. An ethical alien civilization would recognize this pattern. They might have visited Earth, assessed our level of development, and made the difficult decision to leave us alone until we're ready for contact. This is sometimes called the Prime Directive, named after the famous rule in Star Trek that forbids interference with less developed civilizations. If aliens are following their own version of this rule, then the invasion we fear will never come. Instead, first contact will happen when we're ready, when we've matured as a species and can meet them as equals rather than as victims or inferiors. Here's another fascinating angle. What if the reason aliens haven't invaded is because they're facing their own existential threats? The universe is a dangerous place. Gamma-ray bursts, colliding galaxies, dying stars. Any civilization trying to survive long-term would face enormous challenges. Perhaps the aliens are too busy dealing with their own survival to worry about conquering Earth. Or maybe they've encountered something out there that we haven't, something that makes Earth seem insignificant by comparison. A greater threat, a more valuable prize, or a mystery that demands their full attention. We tend to think of ourselves as the center of the universe, but from a cosmic perspective, we're just one small planet orbiting an average star in an unremarkable galaxy. Whatever aliens are doing, it's entirely possible that Earth just isn't on their priority list. Now, let's talk about time. This might be the most important factor of all. The universe is unimaginably old and unimaginably vast. The chances that an alien civilization would exist at the same time as us, in the same region of the galaxy, and be interested in visiting Earth, are incredibly slim. Think about Earth's timeline. Modern humans have only existed for about 300,000 years. We've only had radio technology for about a century. In the cosmic scale, we've barely been here at all. An alien civilization might have visited Earth 1 million years ago, found nothing but primitive animals, and moved on. Or they might visit 1 million years from now, long after humanity has either evolved into something unrecognizable or gone extinct. The window of time when Earth is both habitable and home to a technological civilization might be just a brief moment in cosmic history. Aliens might have missed us entirely, simply because they were looking in the wrong era. There's one more theory we need to discuss, and it's perhaps the most unsettling of all. What if aliens haven't invaded Earth because we're already part of their plan? Some researchers have suggested that humanity itself might be an alien experiment. That life on Earth was seeded by an extraterrestrial civilization, and they're simply watching to see how we develop. In this scenario, there's no need for invasion because Earth is already under alien control. We just don't know it. This theory sounds like science fiction, but it's not entirely without merit. The concept of panspermia, the idea that life can spread between planets, is taken seriously by many scientists. If life on Earth did originate elsewhere in the universe, either by accident or design, then our entire existence might be part of a larger alien agenda. So where does this leave us? We've explored numerous reasons why aliens might have discovered Earth but chosen not to invade. We're too dangerous, too primitive, or simply not worth the trouble. They might be observing us from a distance, waiting for us to mature or destroy ourselves. They might have their own problems to deal with, or they might have visited at the wrong time. Or perhaps, just perhaps, the reason we haven't been invaded is the simplest one of all: we're alone. The Fermi paradox might not be a paradox at all. Maybe intelligent life is so rare, so unlikely, that we're the only ones in our corner of the galaxy. In that case, there are no aliens to invade us because there are no aliens at all. But somehow, that explanation feels incomplete. With billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, each potentially hosting billions of planets, the universe is almost certainly home to other life. And if that life exists, and if some of it has achieved the ability to travel between stars, then they know about us. The real question isn't whether aliens exist. It's why, if they do exist, they've chosen to leave us alone. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most comforting answer of all. Perhaps we're being protected, observed, and given the space to grow and develop on our own terms. The universe is vast, ancient, and full of mysteries we've only begun to understand. Whether aliens are out there watching us, waiting for the right moment to make contact, or whether we're truly alone, one thing is certain: humanity's story is far from over. We're still a young species, still learning, still growing. And perhaps that's exactly why Earth has never been invaded. Because the aliens, whoever and wherever they are wise enough to know that some things are worth waiting for. The day we're ready for contact, if that day ever comes, will be the day we've proven ourselves worthy of joining the galactic community. Until then, we continue our journey through the cosmos, alone but not forgotten, watched but not threatened, free to make our own mistakes and forge our own destiny. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly how it should be.